Hi everybody, Tyler with SDS2. Thanks for joining us today. Today I've got Buddy Burks with SidePlate and Brett Hart with SidePlate as well. We're going to go through some of the new integration, talk a little bit about SidePlate and how it works with SDS2 and what benefits you can see from it. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Buddy here. He's going to go through his information and I'll come back and show you some SDS2 stuff here at the end. So thanks a lot for joining us. Enjoy.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. Thanks to the SDS2 team for always being willing to partner with us on these types of things as we try to push the industry forward. If nothing else, it kind of helps us feel important because we get to be on camera in front of a bunch of people. But let's start by just unpacking some of what SidePlate is and how we can help your business. And so, looking at SidePlate from a macro level, we are a subsidiary of a subsidiary. We are one of Warren Buffett's smallest companies. Berkshire Hathaway owns MyTech, and we're part of the MyTech family. And so we've actually been around for 25 years. This is our 25th anniversary. We've got 37 employees. 31 are in Southern California in our Mission Viejo office. 6 of us, we have 6 different remote regional engineers that handle the projects all throughout the country. And so Brett Hart, our Director of Construction Services, has just moved to Nashville with me in Nashville to open up a new office, a new location in Nashville to service our construction clients and the projects on the east half of the country. So here's a zoom out of North America where we've done projects. And since 1995, when we were born, we've done over 900 projects. And in the last 5 years alone, we've done over 500 projects. So there's been a tremendous amount of growth within the last 5 years with the developments of some of our technology. And we were born out of a failure. We were born out of the Northridge earthquake had failures of moment frame joints. And so we were a solution, a fix, a stronger joint to that problem, but we have thrived the last 25 years because of our technology and how we have kind of pushed the industry forward, and not just that connection design, but the entire process of from design through construction. And so because of our unique setup, how SidePlate is pretty unique with its business model, we have regional engineers in different areas of the country. We have 7 different regions. Kyle, Sanoop, and Tim handle our projects in the west, and Chris, Matt, Dave, and I handle the projects on the east half of the country. And Kyle, there on the left in Southern California, works out of our Mission Viejo office. And then Brett and I are in this star over here in the southeast in Nashville. And so kind of zooming out a little bit, some of you may not be familiar with SidePlate, so we'll go a little bit into what SidePlate is exactly. And we'll start by saying what it's not. It's not a product. We don't manufacture anything. We don't make anything. We don't have any special pieces or parts. It's a design. It's a holistic design. And so it's common misconception that SidePlate's only used in seismic areas, but about 90% of the projects that I do in the southeast are low seismic and wind governed. And so we can actually do buildings in any design criteria whatsoever, all throughout the country. SidePlate is not a one-to-one comparison. You can't just substitute a SidePlate connection for a conventional connection. It's a holistic design approach to the moment frame system. And because of that, we are not a vendor in a typical sense. We are more of a partner that walks hand in hand with the design and construction team all the way throughout the project. And so here is oh man, let's see if I can get this video to play. Here's an illustration of kind of how SidePlate goes together. Those red plates are the SidePlates proper that go onto the sides of the column in the fabrication shop. Angles are placed on the sides of the side plates, and then the beam comes through the shop with a cover plate and 2 angles on the bottom flange. In the field, it just drops in. It's self-supported erection, and then using twist-off TC bolts, the erector can experience rapid erection of the project. So that's a quick illustration of what SidePlate is. And you'll notice that it looks different than a conventional moment frame joint. That's because we're building up that panel zone to creating a perfectly rigid joint right there. And so ultimately, we're putting the steel where it needs to be within that moment frame, and we can take weight out of the beams and columns. And so we have these are our main offerings. You know, our SidePlate connection and our SidePlate Plus. The SidePlate connection is fillet welded in the shop and field bolted. The SidePlate Plus connection is the same, but it's more for our seismic applications. So in areas of seismicity, a lot along the West Coast, in Utah, South Carolina, Memphis, where we need a special moment frame connection is where we use our SidePlate Plus connection. The most recent connection that we just came out with about a month ago is our all bolted, which we're really excited about. It takes away all the welding in the shop. So we're really excited about what this is going to do to the industry as we attempt to change the game again by reducing the labor in the shop. And so the benefits of SidePlate is that there's no unique pieces or equipment needed. It's faster and safer to erect. You're only using bolts in the field. And so SidePlate is a moment connection, but it's much more than just a moment connection. We talked a little bit about it being a holistic design approach. And so within our industry, we're all seeing tighter schedules, and we're all being forced to be more competitive with our fees. So these three industry challenges are the things that we're looking to address within each project and within our business model. So owners also want flexible spaces. They don't want to pay more. And more common within our industry, within the construction industry, and maybe all industries as a whole, there's communication breakdowns. Communication is key to successful projects. And so SidePlate addresses all three of these industry challenges. We are attempting, using our technology and using our custom components and our tools, we're helping reduce RFIs. We have electronic tools that we share with our fabricator friends to make detailing and estimating quicker, more precise. Using SidePlate has allowed a lot of our partners to differentiate themselves from their competitors. And overall, SidePlate isn't altruistic. Overall, it's easier for you guys to use SidePlate if it's saving you money. So we're getting in on more projects because we're saving more people money, and that's the ultimate goal is to push these projects along faster and cheaper and safer. And so we're reducing the risk to fabricators because there's a fully designed joint much earlier on in the process than historically speaking. So there's no guesswork in what connection material. We have electronic files that have quantity takeoffs very early on in the design schedule. So that's increasing the speed and accuracy for the fabricators that are bidding our work. Ultimately, the building gets designed faster as we're helping the engineer of record push forward their designs and taking a lot of the lateral design as a consultant and helping meet schedules a lot quicker. So ultimately, by having a team that's dedicated to the moment frames and to the moment frame design, you're getting a lot more faster responses in this design and construction schedule. The secret sauce to SidePlate, what makes us who we are is that we're a stiffer joint. We talked a little bit about that built-up panel zone section. So if you take a standard moment frame, a 2-bay, 4-story frame that drifts 2.35 inches, and so all buildings move and all buildings drift, and they're allowed to move so much. And so for moment frames, it's that building movement that often controls the design. And so if you take a standard moment frame that is allowed to move 2.35 inches, if you put that use the same members, same beams and columns, and apply the side plate stiffness, you're going to reduce the drift of that frame, and you're going to reduce it a pretty fair amount. In this case, it's 30%. And so ultimately, the goal is to allow the building to move that 2.35 inches, and to do that with the side plate frame, we can reduce the beam sizes and the column sizes. And so by doing that, we're reducing the tonnage of the building, and reducing the tonnage ultimately reduces that material cost. And so a lot of times we are paying for our costs in the material savings alone before we even get to the erection savings. And so historically speaking, when you have a steel frame building, you're using two options. You're either using a brace frame or you're using a moment frame. SidePlate bridges the gap between a brace frame and moment frame, and we consider ourselves a third option for steel frame buildings. And so historically speaking, brace frames are seen as cheaper, they're seen as lighter, but the cons of brace frames is that there's interference, there's limited flexibility, there's more pieces to detail, fabricate, and erect. Oftentimes there's a loss of usable, leasable square footage because you're having to hide these brace frames and walls, and making it more difficult for the architects to program and reprogram for future flexibility. Moment frames are often heavier. They're seen as higher cost. They're typically very slow because they're welded connections, and there's additional inspection costs to the owner. And so moment frames often get a bad reputation because of the bad history involved. And structural engineers are often thinking less weight equals less cost. And that's a common misconception that we are trying to attack head on at SidePlate as we kind of help change the game in moment frame construction. And so ultimately what SidePlate is doing is it's bridging the gap between brace frames and moment frames. We're a much sleeker, safer, faster system to erect. And more often we're finding ourselves providing a moment frame building at the cost of a brace frame building. And when we can do that and help our partners get their designs done quicker using our tools that we offer as we're designing our building to share our technology and our tools with our detailing partners, our fabricators, our engineers, it really just streamlines the process of this steel design and creates a really good product. And that's what we're excited about sharing with you guys. And so with that is SidePlate in a nutshell, a really small nutshell. We've got, I'm going to hand it over to Brett Hart, who's our Director of Construction Services, who's just moved to Nashville to open up this Nashville office with me here in downtown Nashville. And he's going to talk a little bit about what his role is as the Director of Construction Services for SidePlate and how he can work with you and is working with the industry. So I'm going to Brett, are you on?
Yep, I'm at the ready. I got the video and the audio rolling. Thanks. And by the way, Buddy, we figured out how to clone you. If you just forward this invitation, I'm also Buddy Burks. So don't be confused by that name on the bottom. I'm Brett. We're getting really close to 100. I see it as the attendee. So call your friends real quick, and we'll pump it over to over 100. As Buddy said, I'm the Director of Construction Services. I still manage projects, but my main role is to interact with general contractors, fabricators, erectors, detailers, to listen and to find their pain points and see if we can figure out a way to lessen or remove those hurdles. And so we've got a brilliant team of structural engineers and software engineers and technology experts all over the country that support us and actually allow us to have more than a third of our projects east of California. Right now, that might be a surprise, but we really are growing east of California and doing more and more projects in areas like Buddy showed in those colors to the right of Kyle on that map. And you can find that on our website too. So as Buddy said, we just opened a new office in downtown Nashville. Buddy's there. I'm in another office in Pittsburgh, psyching you guys out right now. But soon I'll be back in Nashville. And we've done that on purpose to really try to focus on things that the industry has told us and our partners have told us from the so-called East Coast, if you will, that they want more automation, more ability to run a beam through the beam line or a column through the beam line and let the CNC do the work. And so the all-bolted solution that we're just in the process of getting going, and we're just about to do our first project. And in fact, I think we're about to do an email blast, maybe even today or in the next several days. Those of you that are on our distribution list will get an email about the all-bolted. And just sharing a quick anecdote, we built a mock-up just a few weeks ago with a fabricator here in Pennsylvania. And they've done probably half a dozen SidePlate projects and have a pretty good cadence and understanding of what it takes to put a SidePlate column together, for example. And for a typical project that they work on, it might be about a 10-hour effort to fabricate a column. And they were thinking that with the all bolted, that might only take 2. So for us, that was a real eye-opener, a real exciting metric. If we can cut time out of the shop and save time and labor, that's a bonus. And what Tyler's going to focus on here, as I hand the baton over to him, is one of those tools that Buddy mentioned. Our XML custom components. I assume most of this audience are detailers and interested in seeing those in action, see how you can actually put those into your SDS2 models. We've been finding that we spend much less time checking shop drawings when detailing teams use those components. They're more accurate. The detailing teams spend less time. Generally speaking, things just go more smoothly. And it's not all rainbows and unicorns. There've been a few times where detailing teams have had a little bit of a hiccup or something's going on in their OS, their operating system that's a little bit unique. And we're here to try to figure out how to get through those hurdles and generally find some sort of solution. We make it very transparent which of the joints within each of our projects are supported. You'll find that in the upper left corner of our first sheet, where it shows you that there's, say, 200 joints on your project, and some number of those may occasionally not be supported, but usually the vast majority are. So one other thing before I hand it over to Tyler, if you guys aren't familiar with our website, Tyler's going to show you a little bit how to download our tools with just a few simple clicks. One other thing that's on there is a questions, concerns, and ideas button in the upper right corner of that downloads sheet, if you will, or downloads website. If you've got an idea for how we could improve our offerings or something that you're finding that's frustrating or anything that you might consider that we could try to incorporate for the future to improve, that's a good forum. You can certainly contact me directly as well. And my information is all on our website too. So with that, I'm excited for Tyler to show you guys very hands-on how to go through and download our stuff and then crank it into SDS2.
Thanks, Brett. Let me just get this up here. All right. So now let me just get my part of the presentation going here. And it looks like I need to move forward a little bit. So much for a seamless transition, right, guys? All right, so to integrate with SidePlate, here's how we handle getting the download. So you can go to their website and they've got all the information there. It's gonna generate like an installer where we can go through and you download these files and it will give you that XML information to be able to bring this into SDS2. Again, this is all on SidePlate's site. Once you go through these steps to sign in, you can kind of see the custom component XML is what you're gonna wanna get. And then you just download it there at the bottom. So once you have that, you'll have it on your machine. Then you're just looking for, you're able to bring that into your SDS2, and I'm going to show you how that's done. The thing I always hear about people that work with a SidePlate project is one, and Buddy touched on it earlier, there's a lot less guessing. Up front, we know what those connections are going to be. We know what they're going to look like. There's a lot less RFI, so that makes the project go a lot smoother. Two is erectability. So much time is saved on the erection of these projects that it really helps to tighten that, the amount of time people are in the field, resulting in a better product, better experience for everybody involved. It's just, those are the two things I hear every time I talk to whether a detailer or a fabricator. That's always what they end up talking about. So we're going to take this into the detailing side of it as okay, we've got this great design going on. How do I get that into my model and into my shop drawing so it's not a bottleneck, so detailing is not the bottleneck? How do we make that go? And so for years we've had, SDS2 and SidePlate have worked together to develop this file transfer system. We've taken a step further where now it will automatically apply, and I'll show you how that works. The old way was, doing some grid locations and things like that, but we've improved upon that. We've also created detailing templates. So yeah, I get it in the model fast, but am I going to spend some time cleaning up these drawings because there's plates and angles and welds and things like that? What's my cleanup time look for? What's that look like? So we've created some templates out of the box, no charge, everybody's got them, that can run on top of this when you do get a SidePlate project. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about, our SDS2 load planning 4-to-C product out there where, especially with a SidePlate job, you've got the plates hanging out, you've got things like that. I'll show you a quick way where as a fabricator, if you wanted to, you can quickly go through and virtually load the truck, and I can talk about some of the deliverables that you get from that. And then finally, when it gets out to the site, so we're going from design to the field, it's out in the field, we've got some tools, some of them are free, that you can go through and really just convey that information to your erectors and whoever else is going to be out in the field and might have questions. So first off, I wanted to start with this video. This is the SidePlate connection import. As you can see, I've got 3 big icons at the top right-hand corner of my screen. You have the individual connection, you have your SidePlate project setup, and then you have this one right here, which is our grid matching one. So once you hit this button, it's going to take you into here, and you see you've got the SidePlate model information in red at the bottom, and up top is the green SDS2 information, where you can go ahead and just line these up and match them. And it's going to go ahead and take away all the work that you had to do before as far as aligning grids and typing in grid numbers. It's going to go through that, and I've sped this up a bit because I think we're bringing in about 50, 60 connections. But it's going to apply those SidePlate connections to this model. And you can see, it's going to go through and do that. And at this point, all my locations are taken care of. Everything's done. It's just that SidePlate XML, and then using this tool that we've created in SDS2. As I zoom in here, you can see how it's applied it, what you're going to get out of the box, and you can kind of see the detail that you're going to get. You've got everything here that you need to create your 2D drawing for the joint, do all your other information that you need to get out, whether it's a bolt summary, whatever the case may be. It's in the model and it's done that quickly. Getting to the 2D side of things. So now I've got it in the model. How much time am I going to have to spend scrubbing? So here's a detailing template. Here's how it looks out of the box without a template. You can see it looks kind of messy. There's a lot of stuff going on. You probably don't want to send it to the shop that way. So what we've done with our detailing templates, and this can apply to just about any member or all members in SDS2, but in this case, we'll go through and we'll just run it with our SidePlate specific detailing templates. Again, this is going to take about 45 seconds to go through and do, but you can see the improvement of there out of the box. If you needed to make some changes, you could, but out of the box, that cleans it up quite a bit. That's a huge improvement, and that's a huge time saver to anybody that's going to be doing some details and doing a SidePlate project with SDS2. So we've covered out how to detail it, how to get it to the shop. We've got those tools there that make it quick, get you in and out, and process it, and like I said, get it to the shop. That's the important thing. The next thing is getting it from the shop out to the field. Well, this is our new SDS2 4-to-C product. It's been around for, I don't know, about 2 years now. But this is an IFC of that model from SDS2. It's just imported in here into Fortisy. And once I get it in here, I can go ahead and I could set a whole bunch of different filters. And whether it's columns, whether it's sequence, I set a whole bunch of different filters. I can add it to a staging list, and then I am going to create a truckload for it to go on. And I can specify different dunnage heights and things like that. But the idea behind this is it's a lot easier to move a mouse around to make sure things are going to fit on a truck than it is to actually have a guy out there with the crane, or 2 guys or 3 guys loading stuff on, pulling stuff off. This is just a huge time savings. The deliverables you get with this is you can get a PDF load map. I can export individual loads by IFC to a tablet where an IFC viewer, someone out there, can spin it around and look on it. I can look at this by layer as I'm building this, and all your parameters for that truck, for the trailer, can be set up. Whether hey, I want to pyramid this load. It's going to have this many axles. We're doing a center of gravity checks and doing all that right through here as I load these pieces. You've got a lot of sorting options on the left. You've got filters here as well. But at the end of the day, it's just a visual representation of, hey, this is the best way to get the most on that trailer. It's safe, it's quick, it's easy. And so this is something that, SDS2 has got a lot of nooks and crannies and a lot of power behind it and a lot of options. This one has options, but it's a lot easier to see exactly what you're doing because I'm just putting steel on a truck. So that gets it out the door. You can kind of see here, I just took some snapshots of I built that load, but I can go back and look individually. Maybe I can fit some more pieces on, so I can get that set up there. And here's a look at the whole trailer. I'm looking at 44,000 pounds on this trailer, and my max was 45,000. So this one's set up, good to go. And again, you can orientate this, you can play Tetris with it all you want, but it gives you that peace of mind because again, you're just moving a mouse through this. You're not out in the field wasting all that extra material handling time. The final thing I wanted to talk about today would be our site planning tools. This is a look at, we can have cranes in SDS2. We can either do a free viewer station if you just want to, look at pull dimensions, be able to find the weights when it gets out there for the erector. Or you can get into this with our erector station where you can add the cranes, you can do planning. But the most powerful thing inside of it is the reports. If you're shaking things out, if you need to stage an area, if you're erecting off the back of a truck, well, Fortisy and this make perfect sense to go together to give you that information and do your pre-planning. So we do have a lot of site tools to go along with this. It's just, hey, once you have that model, there's so much information contained in it, it's silly not to use it every place we can. So with that kind of wraps up how SDS2 and SidePlate's integrated at what we've been working on over the past few years. It was kind of disappointing this year that we didn't get a chance to get together at NASCC. We always do a event with SidePlate, and we're looking forward to next year in Louisville to be able to do one there. Great group of guys to work with, great company, and our customers, it's nice to see the engineering side of some of their customers and the fabrication side of ours get together, talk shop, and really take a look at the neat connection that they've developed and all the benefits that it provides our community. Buddy, Brett, you still around?
Yes, sir.
We're here.
All right. Well, you guys have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, the NASCC partnership is really fun. That's a great time to get together. Like you said, Tyler, it's always been a blast, but we also get to talk, like you said, a lot of shop and get to talk how we work together and get to see a lot of our clients on the engineering side, talk with our fabricator and detailing clients too. And it's really beneficial, but it's also fun.
And Tyler, I like that you showed the whiskey bottle there on Whiskey Row right in downtown Louisville. There's a really cool building that was one of my favorite projects we did. It was the Michter's Distillery. They took this old building that was sort of out of sorts and leaning out of plumb by about a foot, and they stripped the inside and put a steel SidePlate superstructure inside there. So it's right across the street from that big giant bat. Looking forward to checking that out.
Very nice. Well, we do have a couple questions coming in here. I've got one I'm going to toss to you guys. do you sign into SidePlate with your SDS2 username and password, or do you have to have a separate one? How do they sign into your guys' site?
Good question. So it's separate. It's through our SidePlate website. And so you just put in your credentials, your name, your email, some basic stuff. The very first time you do that, there could be a little lag. It's generally approved by our project coordinator, Lisa Mosconi, and then you're up and running. Once you do it once, it's real easy.
Perfect, thank you. Another one, I'll take this one. Are you guys able to keep up with the SDS2 versions? Yeah, the presentation I did right there, that was inside of our 2020 version. The one that we just sent out, not our 2020i here in July, I believe it was. So yeah, we keep up with that. We work together. They have a team of programmers. We have a team of programmers that go back and forth and make adjustments as needed.
One thing I'd add to that too is I think we've decided to support 4 years. So we've been supporting more than that to date, but I think we did a survey on who's using what, and 4 years seems pretty safe. I don't think we're going to accidentally cut anybody off the knees, but that's our intent moving forward. Perfect.
So yeah, I think we're kind of running up against the end of what we wanted to do here. I do see a couple more questions, and guys, we are. I will get to you whether it's a SidePlate question or an SDS2 question. I'll get a response to you one way or the other. We are recording this, and so it will be up on our website. SidePlate's going to have a recording this as well. So if you'd like to get at it that way, check out our websites here in a couple days, and you can download this and share it amongst your friends. But I guess to wrap up, thank you everybody for your time. Brett, Buddy, I appreciate it. It's nice seeing you guys, even if it's not in person. It's nice seeing you guys, and look forward to catching up down the road.
Yeah, thanks.
Luck to your Huskers. Maybe the Huskers and Nittany Lions can end up in the Big Day Championship when we play in spring or something.
Hey, you know, we just need to schedule a scrimmage or something. Just get some football going. This is ridiculous. Buddy can't be the only one that's lucky and has football, so we got to figure something out. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Everyone that showed up, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.